basically, if you put it next to a pepperami, you can't tell which is which. Oh, hello and welcome to Not Another Leeds podcast, episode 9. And if you're expecting tactical analysis and football and kind of stuff, let me stop this podcast so you can get off, because we're about as tactical as a fish on a plate next to some chips. So welcome to this week's Not Another Leeds podcast, episode 9, with special guest and OG, which stands for Original Gary. It's Gary Devonport from the Talking Show, everyone. Ooh, yay!
Evening, fellas. Evening. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. It's nice. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, and I hope you're mentally prepared for this episode, mate, because who knows, your hair might grow back, because mine's definitely going the other way. But yeah, are you all good, Gary? All good?
Yeah, real good, mate. Yeah, obviously staring down the barrel of the weekend now, which is nice. Works in the rearview mirror. Beer is on the horizon. Yeah, it's all good.
Nice, that's what I like to see. What about you, Kev? Are you all good, buddy?
Very well. Still not over last Friday. It's still taking me 7 days to get over this, but yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right.
Yeah. I feel like I'm just recovering from a shotgun wound, if I'm being honest with you. We'll get into that very shortly. James, how are you, mate? You look ecstatic.
Well, it's international break, ain't it? I'm
Of
always
course.
happy in this time.
Of course, yeah.
The quality of football is so high as well on these international breaks as well. It's really good to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's prime Brazil. I think. I didn't. Do you know what? I'm that not asked about international football. I didn't even know England were playing. I just went about my life,
Not me.
you know, cleaning chimneys and stuff.
I just turned the telly on and they were losing. I was like, oh.
Jason, how are you, mate? Right. Before we do move on, Gary, do you like languages? Have you ever used any apps or anything?
Well, do you know something? I'm one of them people who at school didn't listen in German and then went to live in Germany for 3 years. And then when I got to like the middle age of like nearly 40, I decided then that I wanted to be a distinguished gentleman. So I decided to try and start learning German after not living in Germany anymore. So yeah, I do like languages, to be fair. I'm just not very good at English, so I struggle on.
Well, you may be in luck because. Yeah, danke schön. Yeah, das ist sehr gut. Yeah, Daniel Farker. That means Daniel Farker in German and English. Right. So this week's sponsor, you may know, Gaz. So basically, you know, there's different dialects in the UK. So I've created an app, and this might help everyone out. It's called Duolingo, where you can learn Yorkshire, Southern, and some Geordie. Not Scouse, because that's just loads of vowels thrown together like a TV static. But if you had to pick a regional accent to learn, so Gaz, I know you're from the Barnsley area, should we say? I won't dox you straight away. But can you throw some Yorkshire at us, or Barnsley stick?
Well, yeah, I can do, mate. Yeah, it depends how Barnsley you want to get, because obviously where I live, quite a hefty mining community, so that tends to come across some old boys who goes, "Hey, up young, and how they're getting on. They've been up too much," and then it takes you a few minutes to switch back to that way, and then you're normally all right after that point. Yeah.
Speaking of which, before I get to these guys, because you're from that neck of the woods, did you see the Northern Lights the other night, Gary?
Last night, yeah. So I saw the Northern Lights, but just vicariously through Facebook, because I was asleep for 10 o'clock, and then all my neighbours were like taking photos, and I was like, "Oh, it looks amazing." So yeah, I missed it. I was asleep. I
was working down that neck of the woods, and I took a picture of the sky. And you won't believe what I saw. This is what the Northern Lights are like in the Rotherham Barnsley area. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I'd say one in a million shot. Can't believe it. Beautiful.
Only one of them.
What about you, Kev? Come on. Right. So yeah, that's that. Right. There's no other way around it. We need to talk about the absolute howler that gutted us. Let's start with it, because then it's out of the way. I'll start with James, because I feel like you're going to be more visceral. What happened in your opinion?
It's just really unlucky, wasn't it? It's a really rasping shot. Just took him by surprise, wasn't it? Two keepers wouldn't have saved that, to be fair to him. So, you know, you have to give him credit where credit's due.
It's lucky to be alive, James, if I'm being honest, yeah.
That's it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I mean,
Yes, he nearly
yeah,
died.
it were
He
going
did nearly die.
that fast. I
To be
thought he took
fair.
one of his arms off. Yeah, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. What about you, Kev? Get it off your chest, mate. This is your therapy.
I've watched it 100 times over the last week, and I still can't see one angle looks like it's took a spin, the other way he's just ran past it, thinking that he's already got it. I don't know still don't know what to think of it. It's what's that Mandela syndrome or whatever you want to call it, where everything's different every time you look at it and stuff like that, and it just gets me upset always. I've been ripped about it at work all week. I just want it to end. I want him to just like pull off a blinding save so we all forget about it, but it's Mez in it, and it's going to be some more howlers,
Yeah.
I reckon. Yeah.
Do you know the thing is for me? Yeah, it looks different, but it looks worse and worse and worse every time that I look at it. And I didn't know I knew that many swear words when I watched it go in. I generally I surprised myself. I was swearing in front of the television, looking at our squid. I was like almost impressed. Gaz, let's go. Let's get into him. I mean, does it take a spin? Because I know you're going to be quite okay with him, but let's just have him, Gaz. Have him, please.
He's just tried to be a clever bastard, and he tried to catch it and fall at the same time and make it, a big crowd, big cheer from the Leeds fans, and he's just forgot the fundamental part of catching the football. But a bit like you guys, I were like, ball just bounced it net, and I was a bit nonplussed. I'd be like, yeah, why wouldn't that happen? It's Leeds United. Yeah, of course that would happen. Like, yeah, I'm just not surprised.
I love the fact that you're in the acceptance phase of grief already.
About 5 years. I remember when we obviously lost that playoff semi-final, and my son at the time were about 12 or something, and he were like crying with his face in pillar at settee, and I just dejectedly packed him on back and went, "You'll get used to it, son," and then just trudged off to the fridge to get another beer. Yeah, all joking apart, I think he's tried to be clever. I think he's tried to catch it and fall at the same time, and the wicked deflection off Firpo's head from 40 yards away has caught him out, and he's just been a mug. He's made a mistake. He's been a fool.
Yeah, I think he's tried to be clever. In my opinion, I don't know. There's two things. Why has he let it bounce, and why is he not? If he is going to let it bounce, why is he not further back? I get that there was a player trying to pressure him, but he had lots of time. Even if he did step back one pace, he's got a chance to maybe react and press it, and push it away or whatever. But the fact that we were 10 seconds over extra time, you could, if you want to be overly critical, you could blame Mateo Joseph 30 seconds before, Jaden Bogle 20 seconds before. But I mean, what a howler! Gaz, would you have took a point before the game?
No, I'm not having it.
Fair.
No, I went into that game, and all this furore around how amazing Sunderland have been. If we really want to get out of this league and we really want to win the league and we want to get promoted off the bat, we've got to be going to places like Sunderland and being confident that we can win. And I still think going into that game that we should have been. I didn't really subscribe to this. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be that. It's going to be over. Don't think it were a tough game. They are a decent side. I don't think they'll be up there come end of season. We shouldn't be going into teams like that fearing a draw or is a point all right. We should, but realistically, or if you want to be really picky, we probably should have been out of sight. I think we should have been 3-1 up. It shouldn't have been an issue when Mez decides to go walkabout.
Yeah, I 100% agree there. I mean, in the first 10-15 minutes, they were all over us, weren't they, James? I'll show you the momentum graph so everyone can see this. So there we are. They were all over us, and then it just seems like they found Jude Bellingham in the middle, quite, just stood there, just twiddling his thumbs, having a game of tiddlywinks. And luckily, he's not as good as his brother. That's right. Yeah. I went there. And I mean, what's your thoughts on that, James?
I think we just started a bit slow, didn't we? We were a bit, getting into the game. They started quick, but once we got a foot, they scored their goal. It was a good save, and he was in the right place. I mean, you could sort of question the defending a little bit, but once we got a foothold in it, I didn't see any other team winning it. I thought we was going to piss it, and as soon as we got ahead, we just sort of went, "Yeah, break us down," and they didn't. Apart from what obviously happened at the end, so I'm with Gary. I went into that game thinking we should win this game quite easily. There's not a team that we've played where I've thought we're lucky or they've put us under a lot of pressure. We've just been better than everyone, apart from West Brom, but we know why that happened. But yeah, I'm absolutely comfortable with how we're going, even with our injuries. Yeah, should have won it, but we didn't.
Yeah, we should have won it, but we didn't exactly at that point. I did say I'd take a point before the game, but that was the Leedsy in me. Kev, I mean, when that first goal went in, we were like, "Oh, is this going to be a long night?"
Well, I actually agree with you, Danny, didn't I? That I would take a point because Friday night games or any game that's on telly with Leeds is squeaky bum for me because always something goes wrong. And I would have took a point, but then I've got to agree with Gary. We actually were the better team on the night. It was a good game to watch, to be fair, for a neutral. I thought it was decent. There were some good players on show, but yeah, at the end, I still think we should have won, even though it was a draw. And yeah, it's just one of them, innit? But I mean, look at Nonto has been bossing this team, and he had a great game against Sunderland. He must have been wounded when that goal went in, just like Firpo was. He ran off throwing a paddy down the tunnel, didn't he? So
yeah, I think I saw him pick up Patrick Bamford and slam into the floor, so he's going to be out for another couple of months.
He literally threw Paddy. He picked up Bamford and threw him.
Yeah, literally, literally threw Paddy. Yeah, yes. So all in all, guys, if that is the top of the league,
Jinx.
if that is top of the league, that what they have to offer, are you confident now going forward?
I think it's a bit of a false position at minute, mate, if I'm honest. I still think the season's got to kind of balance itself out and stuff. And I think come Christmas, we'll have a better understanding who are going to be up there. But again, I think it's been said time and time again. I don't think that there's a team in this league, you know, obviously taking my Leeds hat off, who looks like they're going to run away with it. I know Burnley beat us at Ellen Road, but I weren't overly impressed with them, to be honest.
No.
You know, they've got some very good players who probably shouldn't be playing at this level, but they didn't have the feeling like a Wolves did when Wolves ran away with it, when they had Neto and people like that in the team. So I still think there's a long way to go, and I think we shouldn't really judge ourselves on Sunderland were at the top of the league. So does that make us, you know, because I don't think they'll be up there come the end of the season. I think we've got to stop caring about other teams and be a little bit more selfish, because I think that we've got arguably, although a majority of them are broken now, arguably the strongest starting 11 in the league.
Yeah.
And we need to start having a bit of a swagger and arrogance about us. Teams want to cut. Teams should want to. We should want teams to beat us, not us be worried about other teams. I know that sounds a bit arrogant, but if we really want to push on from the last year, we need that element of swagger to us, I think.
Well, I totally agree, mate. We should be. We've spent the most in the league, and we have the better squad all round. For me, we've said it loads of times. I believe that we're a much better rounded squad for the championship. Championship squad. That's the key phrase there. We don't have the Rutters, the Somervilles, who are individually better than the rest of the team, if that makes sense. But let's talk about the Pirou goal then. I mean, what a cross from Nonto, James, and a great finish from Pirou.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all questioned him starting, didn't we, Pirou? Because he's lazy and he doesn't run. But he actually played really well, I thought. I thought he got around the top of the pitch quite well. Did what we all know he can do. Put the ball in the back of the net. Great cross, marginally offside, but I don't think it's offside. I think them calls in normal football, you're in line with the defender. Like your toes offside, you're onside. But we all know if that was Premier League, it'd have been ruled off. But great finish, great cross, great performance from both of them as well, Pirou and Nonto. Oh, and Rothwell as well. I thought Rothwell was quality.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Rothwell next. Kev, what's your thoughts on the Pirou goal? Great finish. We all know that he can finish that, and that's what we sort of want up top, don't we?
Well, it's what we bought him for. We all thought he was going to be this mean, lean goal scoring machine in the Championship. And I mean, he does score goals, and he scored goals last year. I mean, he scored quite a lot of goals, really, and he went missing in a lot of games. But you put him in those positions where teams are not going to play a low block for most of the time, which most teams will against us. He will score goals, and I mean, hasn't he scored like 4 in his last 4? something like that. It's good. It's what you want, and he probably looks better as an impact player, or just picking and choosing the games that he actually plays in. With the way Joseph is coming along, the way Joseph's playing, Joseph seems that fit that mold of that pressing striker that every manager that we've had recently is always wanted a striker like that. So yeah, I'm just happy with his output at the moment, but I do think we'll probably see more of him from the bench, and I think we'll probably get better output from Perot from the bench as well. So yeah, long may that continue, to be fair, because that's one thing that we're not really struggling with at the moment is goals. It's down the other end at the minute, which we were pretty good with last year, and that's what the only worry I've got right now.
To be fair, I mean, we are defending well. I think Johnny Cooper, he said that we've faced the lowest shots this season. Another stat about Willie Gnonto from Johnny Cooper is Willie Gnonto is the youngest Leeds United player this century to assist a goal in 3 consecutive matches, 20 years, 334 days, which says to me the trajectory that he's going to have this season. He's very important to us, isn't he, this season, Gaz, considering what he did at the beginning of last season. And, I think they've said to him, you're going to be our main guy this year.
Yeah. For me, I think that was the key as well. That we did need to get him to one side and say, look, your mates, Cree's gone, Ruter's gone off to the Premier League. Now's your time for you. Now's it time for you to be the main man. Now's it time for you to be shouted about and lauded upon like Cree were. And I also wonder as well how much them two going and him being the main man in isolation now they've gone might also help with the team dynamic a little bit. I know they've said that they weren't before, but I'm led to believe that Cree, Kamara, Somerville and Willie were pretty tight and a bit of a clique. And I'm not saying that's a negative thing, but now Willie's firing and he's on his own. Maybe that's also a weird positive as well.
Yeah. I did hear a rumor beginning last season that it was Somerville that was the sort of bad influence on Gnonto. That's unconfirmed rumors. Don't sue me. Oh, sorry, it's just text me. Stop chatting shit, he said. Don't worry. All right, fine. Allegedly. Kev.
Somerville is agent. Is Somerville Gnonto's agent? Is that what it is?
No, it's his legal team again. James, you mentioned Rothwell, mate. I thought it was outstanding personally. There's a lot of people that don't rate him, but that I think they saw what Rothwell has to offer in this team. I can't speak.
Yeah, mate. We said last week. I thought he was going to be like a similar sort of player to like Jadon Anthony. Sort of coming on bit part here and there, but he was quality. He grew into the game, but then his passes were good. He was running with the ball. He was tackling, winning the ball back. I thought he was really, really good. And I'm not as worried as I was before, with Amadou and Gringe. I'm okay with that.
He's
all
underwater.
Over the shop, James. Yeah, you're all over the shop, mate.
You're underwater, James. Same question to you, Kev. Well,
fuck.
No, sorry. You're like.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he played well, but all over like socials and stuff like that, people were saying that he was crap. He seems to be quite of a polarizing character, doesn't he, Joe Rothwell, within the fan base? Some people don't rate him, some people highly rate him. I think he's a great footballer. He seems so calm on the ball, in the way he knocks it around. He's got a very, very technical player. And we didn't really have that last year, and he seems like something different that we've got. And I really like him. It's the same with Tanaka as well. Them two are really technical and they hold the ball up well. They're press resistant as well. They don't seem to get, when they get pressed in the games, they don't seem to get what word am I looking for? They don't seem to be bothered by presses. They seem to be able to play it around as well. And again, we didn't really have too much of that last year. Kamara did it okay, but he did get caught out a few times. But these two, they're just like so calm on the ball. And I know they weren't the most two defensive players, but I'd be happy with them without Ampadu and Guerrero for a little while. And it looks like we're bringing in reinforcements anyway. But them two, yeah, I'm really happy with Rothwell and Tanaka. good players.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in soon, mate. But yeah, I think everyone is surprised by the Tanaka Rothwell sort of combination, because I think this would be like our fourth pairing, wouldn't it, Gaz? Tanaka and Rothwell.
Yeah. So I think it will be, won't it?
If this happens, if this happens last season, meltdown.
Yeah, and I agree with Kevin and what James said from the Yellow Submarine. That I think that for me, the thing with Rothwell, and he is a bit polarizing. Some people rate him, some people don't. But I think in the last 2 games, we've seen what there is to rate him about in terms of, for me, the biggest one is that he wins the ball and his first thing is to look up and forward. Is there anything on he can put forward? He has that thing of, and I think it was mentioned under our favorite Argentinian manager, should never receive the ball stood still. And he never does. If you watch him, he never receives it stood still. Whereas Gruev's been fantastic for us this year. He has a habit sometimes of stood still, gets the ball, puts his foot on it, looks around, goes backwards. And it kind of, at times, breaks up the rhythm, where both Rothwell and Tanaka, although Tanaka's playing the deeper of the two, want to look forward. They want to play forward. They want to progress into that space. And I think against your better teams, and I know we've played Sunderland, we talked about it, that's when we might miss the more holding midfielder of Ampadu and Gruev. But I'm quite pleased with what I've seen so far, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I did see Gruev and Ampadu out and about. I was shopping at the White Rose, actually, and I found them in the knee shop, just in the waiting room. They might get discount, hopefully. You never know. But yeah, hopefully we can. We are bringing in reinforcements. We'll talk about that after the guest player. But yeah, I'm like you say, Kev. I'm comfortable. It's Tanaka and Rothwell going forward. I like it. Like you say, press resistant. Tanaka, so much honour indeed. Right, yeah. So, is there any other standouts? I mean, we'll talk about the Firpo goal, Kev. Great finish, or was he lucky not to have been defended because that 09 fell over, didn't he?
Yeah, well, you mean give and take, these things even themselves out over the season. We've had loads of lucky goals against us last year. Ipswich were famed for having lucky goals. It's about time that we started having some of them as well, because we don't normally get goals like that. So yeah, it's just, I'll take it. It was a good finish, really powerful, straight into the bottom corner from me. And do you know what? I honestly, I slagged Firpo off for 2 years. He's now like a folk hero for Leeds fans, isn't he? I swear I hated him. Now I think he's consistently probably been our best player over the last 25 matches. So I've got nothing but love for him now, and I love a redemption arc, and he deserves it.
And he does work his ass off down that wing, doesn't he? You know, you can see him doing the overlaps. He's running up and down. He doesn't do as much. He don't give that, because when you saw Firpo on the team sheet, I thought, right, okay, I might as well put a bet on for a Firpo yellow card. You know, guys, do you think it's changed? And also, I want to ask you while you're here, would you push the boat out to try and sign him down? Because rumours are that he's moving back to, Spain probably.
I think, like Kev said, he's kind of gone on a little bit of a Berardi trajectory. If you remember when we first signed Berardi, he had a habit of like overhead kicking Accrington Stanley players in face, and then just being generally a delinquent, like trying to kill people regularly. And we're all a bit like, all right, cool, we've signed this mega hothead who just likes to volley people and drag people about. And then he suddenly very quickly became a folk hero, and almost to a point then where you couldn't drop him. And I think Firpo's done that. I will like Kev, particularly in the Premier League. I've called wake up in cold checks on a night with him and Mo Salah during the Premier League with him one-on-one. It's just like, oh my God, put him out of his misery. The man's dying, but you can't fault him what he's been like. I think his attitude's been top class. I don't personally have any problem with him stropping off a pitch on a Saturday night. It's football. It's not tiddlywinks. I've seen people come to blows in changing rooms before. I'm sure you have. I'm sure all the guys have who played football. It's football. They're passionate. They want to win. It's how it goes. I'm sure that afterwards, Firpo and Meslier have kissed and made up. But no, I personally wouldn't tie him down to a contract. That's controversial, I know, because if this team wants to get back to the Premier League, I don't quite think he's good enough in the Premier League, and I feel like that should be a position we should target. But he could absolutely have, a sort of hero send off by getting us promoted, and then go back to his family to Spain if that's his preferred destination, and then nip over to play for Dominican Republic every now and again on what looks like a school playing field. Yeah.
I remember those days actually.
Oh, sorry, Dave. I just want to keep going on about Firpo a little second. He's a very much of a system player as well, isn't he? And this system that Farker plays to every strength that Junior Firpo has. So, yeah, I mean, I'll agree with Gaz as well. I think in the Premier League he might go back to his usual self, but yeah, let's hope if he does leave at the end of the season, he goes out on a big, massive swan song where we're top of the league and no dicking around with any playoffs. Yeah.
Well, I was actually in a moment of meditation and an image came to me and I managed to screenshot it. I was just about to say this happened when Gaz knows. When you saw Mohamed Salah and Firpo on the opposite team sheets, and this is what came up to my brain. Like you see that, and you take a deep inhale of a cigarette because you need the blood thinning when you see that. Because I remember those days, and they were absolutely nuts. Is everything all right, James? Can you hear me? No, sorry, he's out. He's down by the Titanic. Right. Yeah. So, anything else on the? I mean, Firpo's reaction. Should we talk about Firpo's reaction? Gaz, obviously, he's going to be frustrated, but right quickly before we move on, vindicated, or should he just save it for the changing room?
No, absolutely vindicated. Absolutely vindicated for me. You've got to have emotion in football. If we we constantly as fans criticize players for being like these robotic things who get put in front of media and they all say the same thing and la la la, and we talk about there's not much emotion or passion in football anymore. Firpo's had a great game, scored, and then Meslier's, in my opinion, Meslier's lack of concentration has cost it, and I get it, and I'm down for it. When people need, I'm a big believer. If people need a bollocking, they need a bollocking, and dry them. It's a man's sport. We're grown ups. Get on with it. End of story, really.
Yeah. What about you, Kev? Would you have just picked Farker up and thrown him into the goal mouth, or what? Would you? German suplex?
I don't know. I've done that before with teammates when they've done some crap, and I've had a go at them, and they've had a go at me when I've been siphoning people down. It's part and parcel, and again, it's passion and as Gaz mentions, man, you just watch all these footballers in the Premier League. They're all robots, and it's celebrating a tackle where a ball goes out for a corner and they're celebrating it and all that, and then there's ones that just don't talk at all. It's right. Football is a sport of passion, and it's a religion, really, isn't it? The stadiums are the churches. You just got to have passion for it, and I agree with that. I really do, and I think Firpo was right because he stole his moment from him, didn't he? Everything was all right, and then it's going to go down as a Firpo own goal as well. That will be so. Yeah, so it's right to be pissed off. Yeah,
I think the other thing as well, Kev, Danny, is the fact that actually he's been criticised for the way he's been, but he took himself away from the situation. He could have walked over, got Meslier by throat, and stuck block on him, but he didn't. He went away. It was only that the camera caught him going down that we even know anything about it, other than if you were in the stadium and you see it happen. And I'm not being funny, but in the Premier League, I saw Rodrigo strop off down the tunnel more times than I care to remember. And because it weren't really caught on camera, we never really had these debates. So I'm for it. We need to stop.
I think it will help Meslier as well. If everyone's going, a baby in the matter around, I think, just like, okay, you're fucked up, everything's going to be fine. But if some people are kicking off about it might affect him a little bit more, make him a bit sturdier as well. So yeah, I'm happy with him showing a bit of emotion, definitely, because you need that. Sometimes you need to kick up the ass as well when you're fucked up. You need it big time. So yeah, I agree.
One thing I have forgot to mention is the aftermath where he's laughing with Regis Labrie. Now, that for me, that's just a moment in time. He's seen his former manager, and he's probably just, he's told him, like, chin up, it happens to the best, or whatever. We don't know because we weren't there. All we've seen is a picture of Meslier laughing in a moment in time. It could have been for a fraction of a second, and they've captured it. Now, he's got a lot. I mean, straight away, Leeds fans are very reactionary. Gaz, as you know, mate, it's just an absolute chemical toilet on Twitter. Now, it was my mistake that I went on there, and it just added to my rage. before I went like Super Saiyan. But after calming down, I realised, look, he's probably just said some words of encouragement. He's seen his old manager, and that's it. And then Farke's come out and said, he's upset, but what's your thoughts on that? Do you think it's been blown out of proportion, Gaz?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I know what it looks like. Yeah, I know what it looks like. It looks bad, and yeah, I get it. Again, we're quite emotional with stuff, aren't we? Yeah, well, we're very emotional with stuff, aren't we? I get it. And in one respect, probably not the time, but goalkeepers are a special breed, and they've got to be able to put to bed the mistakes they've made. Otherwise, they'll be sat up all night crying into the gloves. So I think the still picture looks terrible. I get it. I get it, and I understand people are emotional and tired because Sunderland's a long way away, I think it's called. But I'm not really that arsed. Don't get me wrong, if you were laughing his bollocks off, went ball rolled past him and went into net, I probably would sell him on FIFA immediately. But but he weren't, and again, we like to be emotional, don't we, as Leeds fans? And I get it. We're mega invested. We want this team to do well. We've just blown an opportunity to take 3 points away from home. I get it, but no, I'm not that bothered by it, to be honest.
Think it was embarrassment? Do you think it was like embarrassment laughing? Because I've done some daft shit over the years, I have, and then I'm just like, it's just a proper embarrassing laugh like that to take myself out of the situation. So, I mean, yeah, and he's his old manager. Yeah, it's got to be embarrassment. It's not laughing because he's done it. It's laughing embarrassment. I'd be well embarrassed. I would be.
Well, I would imagine Labrise has come up to him and gone, cheers for 3 points. You didn't have to do it that way. And what's he meant to do? Cry and buttered him or what? I don't know.
Yeah. James, just quickly before we move on, mate, we're just talking about the image of Meslier laughing with Regis Labrie. I've explained that it's just a moment in time. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing in life in general. Like and subscribe while you're here. Welcome to the Chaos Engine. James, what's your thoughts on that, mate? Right, quick.
Maybe he just thought it was hilarious because he caught an invisible ball and it went past him. So maybe that's the reason. I don't know. I don't really give a shit. Is his old manager on it, and they've probably had a little laugh about it, but he's probably on the inside dying. So
right.
Yeah.
So this comment here by David. Thanks for your comment, David. Have you ever thought he might have been concussed? Massive overreaction from social media. It happened. Move on. Exactly. I agree. It's happened. It's move on. I don't think he was concussed.
Nah, not.
Nah, I don't think he was concussed. I think it might have been when Firpo got hold of him in the changing room.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, let's move on. So look, we drew. I said I'd take a point, but you got to, you don't lose away when you win your games at home. And I think we're 5th at the minute, and there's 3 points in it to the top of the league. No team's running away with it.
2 points a game, as Farke says, and we're on course for that at the moment. So yeah, I'll tell you.
There you go. Right then. If you don't like it, you can get aboard this. Get aboard and drive to somewhere else. There you go. Right,
that will be packed with Leeds fans. That bus.
Oh, it's constantly on. It just goes around the Leeds route altogether.
Doing a wheelie.
Monster truck at Odsal top. Right, let's move on to guess the player. If you don't know what this is, it's the names in the title. You've got to guess the player. I will give you one clue, and you've got to try and guess. I don't care if it's please. And this goes to Kev and James. No political dictators from the past this week, please.
No war criminals allowed. No, not this.
Yeah, no. And nothing topical either, because I got into a lot of trouble last time. Right. So are you ready, Gary? Are you ready for this week's guest player? So this player has been around since the early noughties. He actually went to the Olympics in '96 and won a gold medal. With the American team.
Brad Friedel.
For those that want to guess, keep hold of it and I'll come around and ask you what you want to do. Gaz, who do you think it is, mate?
I think it might have been Neil Sullivan, Tottenham former player, now driving instructor.
Yeah. What about you? I'll put you down for both, Gaz. Yeah, just in case. What about you, Kev? Who do you think it is, mate?
I'm going to go with the famous American Sean P. Diddy Coombs.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm gonna go with him. Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. Sometimes his hands
Yeah.
are a bit slippery sometimes, though, aren't they? So you just have to be
Sponsored
careful.
by
Well, that lube.
Johnson's and Johnson's. Welcome to the chaos. How we've not been banned, Gary, I have no idea, mate. No, go away. Sorry, that's the police raiding my house again, Kev. Go on then, James. What nonsense is going to come out of your mouth?
I think.
Who do you think it is?
I really do think it's the fictional character Norman Bates.
Fuck's sake. Oh. I knew I shouldn't have said anything. I blame Gary,
Wow.
mate. Let's have a look. Let's have a look in the comments. And ciao Andrea, tutto bene, come stai? He says Shaquille O'Neal, and we've got Donatello from Andy. Well, I'll give you a clue. It's none of them. This is what you saw, and it is. It's Kurt Angle. How did you not know?
What?
I
What?
tell you what, you guys
What?
do not know your footballers. He had a good career at Spurs. God, and then the USMT. He
I thought
actually
it was
won a gold
Gaz. I
medal.
thought it was Gary you put on there then.
That's Gaz with a tan. What are you trying to say? You're trying to say,
What's that?
Neil? Hey up, I'll play for Spurs.
Some roid rage kicking in there, and look at the size of his head, man. What would you prefer, a win on the lottery or Kurt Angle's head in pound coins?
Ooh, bloody hell.
Ooh, that's
What is
the
it?
one. That
Isaac, I wish I could. I don't know how to put polls in the comments, but that is. I'm going to say it.
You get a giant pound coin with his head on. That'd be great.
You know what? And is it solid gold or is it just platinum chipped?
What's that? It's a pound coin, isn't it?
Kurt Angle, would you have like Kurt Angle? What are we doing anyway? We'll talk about it after.
I don't know.
He's on about Kurt Angle's. No, stop taking me down that road, James. Right, let's move on because we have some news that has just come in. Now, apparently, Leeds United, a little birdie tells me that Kayate, who the ex Nottingham Forest defender / midfielder, has agreed terms with Leeds United, and it's all but done. Right, first of all, Gaz, do you know this player? Have you seen him play?
I saw him for a total of 6 minutes for Forest last year, between Christmas and the end of the season. But yeah, obviously he's been around West Ham, all that, loads of experience. Yeah, it sounds like we're trying to do something sensible, which you'll never catch on being Leeds United.
sensible.
Might we go like dig out Edgar Chani again and see what he's doing? That's normally what we're doing it.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember Felipe da Costa when we were in League One?
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
What
I
a
thought
player.
he was the best player ever when we signed him. Because you know what, we didn't have any like foreign players when we were down there, did we? And Felipe da Costa's come in, and I remember him playing. It was at a League Cup game, and he was absolutely terrible, wasn't he? Don't think he played that again after that.
Got sent off against Bradford.
Yeah, he was absolutely terrible, man. Weren't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, this
I mean,
is
nice boots though. Nice boots.
Yeah.
Would it be a statement of intent, Gary, like Jimmy Kebby? Which you once famously said.
Yeah, thing is though, put us into exactly. Put us like freeze time, take us back to then. You're going, fucking Jimmy Kebby's been doing really good for Reading.
I thought he was going to be a good signing when we signed him as well.
Lo and behold, we fucking broke him like we have done many others. I mean, we retired the other kid he signed with, Cameron Stewart. He never played again.
Cameron Stewart, man.
He's locked in toilets in East Stand.
We break so many players, man. We break so many players.
Yeah, just can't hack it, can they? Can't hack it. What about you, Jay?
It's a sensible signing, in my opinion.
I can't believe they're actually doing it. I can't believe they've actually gone out and gone, you know what? Maybe we do need another player for free. Kev, what about you, mate?
I like it. Obviously, when everybody's back fully fit, I mean, it'd be very good squad rotation option. He's very, very good defensively. And you know what? He's somebody big and strong in the middle of the pack that we haven't really had that for a while. And he's long-legged. He puts in some good tackles. He's good stride with the ball. Can get around the pitch. Probably just needs some time to obviously get up to match fitness. But yeah, really sensible signing. Really sensible. I'm honestly really happy with it. It's great for the Championship as well.
He's got about 12 years experience of the Premier League. Now that dropping into the Championship is really good. And he can play DM, centre mid and cover centre back. Yeah, I mean, it does. He's only 34 or something like that. It's a
I
wealth of
remember
experience.
quite a purple patch in his career where he was scoring all the time. They played him up front, all around the places he's played. Centre back, yeah, really good signing. So sensible, Danny. So sensible.
Sensible, as they say in France
Sensible.
somewhere. What about you, James?
Yeah, cover. We needed it, and
Right.
we've got one. I
That's-
don't know how good he is
that-
or how bad he is, but we've got someone, a body in there that can come on. If Tanaka Samurai kicks somebody and gets sent off, and he's banned, we've got someone there. So there we go.
Do you know, John, an interesting fact as well?
Yes,
We love interesting facts on this podcast.
Love them, yeah.
He's also a Grand Officer of the National Order of the Lion in Senegal.
Ooh.
What does that mean?
It's a pretty ninja title, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Of the lion, is that
Of
is,
the
is
lion,
that
that's the bit.
is he in
that's
charge
the
of
key
all
bit.
lions in Senegal?
Yeah.
Yeah, but is
Yeah.
that the local red lion where all the expats go and live in? Is that like the pub? It's like, oh yeah,
He
but
owns a
it's
pub.
2 for 1.
He owns a pub.
It sounds really grand, but it's probably shit. He's probably like, when your missus like adopts you a koala or something. It's probably like that. I would
Yeah,
imagine.
that you'll never see.
Yeah, you could buy a square patch of land in Scotland and call yourself
Yeah.
Lord. That
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
Or you
Buy a
buy a
star,
piece
that thing.
piece of the moon. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, but this star died 2 million years ago. You can't get me. Always thinking. Right then, let's move on. So basically, Gary, what I'd like to ask you now, mate, is these fixtures now. We've got Sheffield United next week, Watford, Bristol, Plymouth, and Millwall. I think Sheffield is going to be a bit tricky because they are doing very well, but I think the rest of them are very winnable.
I agree. Beat Sheffield United just so we can all bathe in wildest tears.
Funny you should say that. Boom. There you go. I've waited all podcasts to say that. There you go. Go on, guys.
Sorry.
He absolutely hates us, doesn't he? He
Big time.
absolutely hates us. It's great. Watford fell off a cliff a little bit. So we could see a battle of the old Premier League midfielders with Sissoko versus Kouyaté in that game. So that would be an interesting watch. 2 geriatrics running around middle of the pitch, struggling to get about. That'd be good.
One's got
all joking apart,
frame.
all joking apart, come out of that run of games, winning 2 and not losing, out in whatever order. I'm happy with that.
What about you, Kev?
I think we'll get 13 points from 15 out of those games. I really do. I think we're going to kick on now. I know I don't want to jinx nothing because we always do crap after the international breaks, but I've just got a feeling that they're all starting to click into gear a bit now with all the new players. And
My
stuff.
house,
Yeah.
mate. These are straight. My house is bent.
Sorry. Yeah, I think we're going to come out 13 out of 15 points. So yeah, I'm really confident going in after the international break.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I think I don't know. I just hate Wilder. I think he was bullied at school by a Leeds fan. Took his dinner money. Do you know what I mean? Took his shoelaces. Yeah. So, go on then, James. You'll probably say we're going to win everyone 6-0.
Yeah, fucking, I'm going to say we're going to win every single game. Yeah, 15 points. Thank you. Take them. It's in a bit.
Well, that's confidence because I think we've had a strong. I mean, Cass, do you agree with this? Do you think we've had quite a difficult start? Like we've played most of the. Yeah, we've played some at the bottom, top, but your Bristol Cities, your Watford, the teams in the middle where they are there to be won. That's where the points are going to come from.
Yeah, and it's beginning to settle down a little bit as well. In it, that early season excitement and optimism is beginning to drain out some teams as well, and everyone's beginning to find their level a little bit. So, like I said earlier, I don't think we should fear anybody. I really don't think we should fear anybody, and we should go into every game thinking we can win.
I think 4 of the teams that are in the top 6 now will be 4 of the teams that are in there at the end of the season, as well as Burnley, Sheffield United, and I do think West Brom are going to have a good season too. I mean, if you look at it back now, it's actually a good point. I think that West Brom point now, looking back at it, they're doing quite well. Yeah, I think them 4 and plus maybe Norwich and someone that's going to get in there late. That's where it's going to be. And you're right, it is starting to settle down. And I think we'll be up there for the rest of the season, possibly even up by April.
Oh, Oh, you've gone and said it. Yes, James.
Oh, Daniel,
You had
mate.
your hand up.
I've got to shoot off. My wardrobe's just collapsed. Sorry, back in a sec.
All right. Okay. Well, go.
Yeah.
Run to IKEA right fast.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Real
I
world
don't know.
problems.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's what happens when you buy something Swedish.
Maybe
Look
he put his Wi-Fi aerial on top of it.
Yeah, his router's up there and it's fallen down. Yeah.
It's not a router. I've seen it. It's just a Pringles tin and a coat hanger, just pointing towards the moon, and that's where we're at. Yeah. So I mean, just Sheffield's a bit tricky, Gaz. You know, what's your quick prediction?
I think we'll beat them. I think we probably win 2-1. If I'm honest, I think it'll be a battle. I think there'll be a lot of.
It does at home, isn't it?
Yeah, it's at home. The Sheffield United fans will travel in force and stuff. I think we win 2-1.
What about you, Kev?
I actually think there might not be a lot of goals in the game.
Oh no! He's back.
One man.
Sorry, Gary. The Quizmaster. He drops in unannounced every other week. Just does what he wants. I can't. There's not what I can do. He's took over. Quizmaster. Oh, he's got a ponytail this week.
I
Go on then.
started just for Gaz. I started for Gaz, baby.
Right. Go on then. What's your questions for Gaz? Sorry, Gaz. He's got to ask you questions, otherwise he won't leave.
5 questions. You ready?
Yeah, go.
I'll do them quick so we get through them. We'll get through them. Right. Leeds United, in my extensive research on Google, I found 6 players named Gary. Speed, Kelly, McAllister, and Sprake. Can you name the other 2? Can you name them?
Oh, that's a great question. No, I can't answer the other 2.
Hanson and Gary Mills. Ooh, Gary
Mills and Hanson.
Mills and Hanson. Sounds like... Yeah.
Go on, Gaz.
Again.
Next question. Your podcast, Talking Shit, in memory of Carl Schutt. What age was Carl Schutt when he began his league career?
Ooh. I think he was a bit of a late bloomer, old Carl, in between selling holidays. I'm going to go 26.
Nearly 23.
Ooh.
Oh.
Nearly.
Next question. You appeared on NALP in the early days. What did you say at 38 minutes and 23 seconds?
Yeah, Gary.
Probably some bollocks, to be fair. I have no idea.
It turned out to be bollocks because you said a team full of greys.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Next one. According to this random website that I found, who is the most famous Devonport?
Probably Davenport or Devonport. I'm a Devonport for a start.
Well, I said Devonport, so it's got to be
Davenport. Lindsay Davenport, tennis player.
You fucking got it, lad. You got it right in the mind.
Oh, yeah. Go on, Gaz. Go on then. Last
question. Last one. What is your favourite Leeds goalkeeping mistake?
Fucking Meslier now, I think. I think that one where Rachubka gave his shirt to a fan and just asked him to play in that game against Blackpool. Was it Blackpool? Oh yeah, Blackpool or Preston, one or the other. I can't remember. Yeah, that's probably my favourite mistake. Just signing Rachubka, full stop. I think.
Well, you're wrong. The actual favourite Leeds goalkeeping mistake was Nigel Martin trying to catch Steve McManaman with his slick back hair. Oh, baby.
Right. Thank you, Quizmaster. I am so sorry, Gaz, for this inconvenience. Are
Adios,
you ready to leave?
What is going on? My glasses are all steaming up and everything. I have no idea what's going on.
James, you will not believe it, mate. You will not believe it. You've missed him again. The Quizmaster has been is harassed Gary. Gary, I can't apologise enough, mate. I do apologise.
Sorry.
But yeah. Yeah. Well, is it fixed now? Have you at least gone to IKEA?
Nah. Nah,
All right.
it's just in the heap over
Yeah.
there.
Oh, look. Hello, mate. Welcome, Joe. Nice to see you. Welcome to Chaos. You should know this by now. Yeah, Daniel. Yeah. Or as Joe Blackburn calls him, Noncy Gandalf. Yeah. Right then. Let's. So we all think the Sheffield United game is tricky, and with Watford and that, we should be beating them. Now, James, did I just hear your email inbox ping?
Why iPet? You did.
Why iPad? Right, this segment. Let's get into this week's
Letters to James.
Who has been in your inbox this
Well-
week, James?
Well, it is. It's Ilya Meslier. He's
Is
he's
it?
wrote to
Oh,
us. So yeah. I'll just get into it because it's a bit of an explanation of what happened last week. So, bonjour, James. Ilian here. I am writing to you to explain what happened last week in the game against Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. At the time, I was thinking about my favorite episode of Only Fools and Horses, where Trigger was explaining his long relationship with his favorite broom. Haha, it is the goodest one. But then, a rasping shot came ricocheting off Junior's mustache, and I was about to catch the ball with my hands, but it hit the ground and went into the goal. I would like to say, but before the game, I was training, and a man approached me in a full mole costume. He came up to me and he said, I would like to say hello to you. My name is Kevin Phillips. I say, why are you dressed like a mole? He gives me a giant wink and with his eye and says, you will see. Then obviously at the end of the game, as the ball comes bouncing in, I see Kevin Phillips' head popped up from the ground, and just as the ball about to hit it, he heads it past me and says, fuck you, you big French spider monkey, and pops his head back down. I say to the ref, there's a man popping his head out of the ground. And the ref says, no, Kevin Phillips did not pop his head out of the ground. Anyway, that is what happened. I am so sorry to all the Leeds fans for letting in the goal. I should have been more prepared for the mole attack. But as you can see, I just got out of bed because it always looks like I just got out of bed. It's because I always just got out of bed. It's an honor and privilege to play for the greatest team in the world, Leeds United. Junior was not mad at me. He was just pissed off because Kevin Phillips snatched his perfectly good stash attack goal. He went and played Bonnie Tyler album faster than the speed of the night on full blast and cried into a bowl of muesli. And in future, if I see any moles or players in mole costumes, I will kung fu kick them in the knees because I will not be scored past by a man in costumes who pretend to be blind moles ever again. Thank you for reading this letter. I hope this explains what went on. I love you all. Thank you, James, Danny, and Kev, for letting me explain what happened. All my love, Ilya Meslier. P.S. Kevin Phillips is just mad because Niall Quinn would not let him in his bandit empire. And that's it.
Wow, that's almost
you,
like a
Ilian.
voice note he sent you. Guys, what's your thoughts on? Do you accept his apology and his story?
Take it all back now. It makes perfect sense. A mole-shaped Kevin Phillips makes all the sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And what about you,
of course.
Kev? Kev's that invested. He needs a drink. Right, I'll come back to Kev. But yeah, very interesting, Ilian Meslier. I generally thought that, I like Gav says, I take it all back. So that is this week's letters to James.
Letters to James.
If you don't already, please do like and subscribe because, before we get banned, we'd like to reach 1,000 subscribers. But yeah, more letters next week. Very well done, James. I must admit. Right. Let's go on to our last segment then. It is called Top Knob, Gaz. Has anyone pissed you off this week? Kev, yeah, okay. We're still on mute. Let's get into this week's Top Knob.
Top Knob.
Right then. So, Gary, who's wound you up this week? Or as they say in ancient Rome, topus nobis?
Oh, fucking hell, mate. That's a tough one. Who's pissed me off this week? Where do I start?
It could be anyone you want, anything. It doesn't have to be
Anybody I
Leeds.
want in the world ever. Yeah.
World ever, yeah.
In the world ever. I'm not sure. I have a bit of a thing at the moment about indicators on cars. And I dropped my wife off somewhere the other day, and I approached a roundabout towards the north of Wakefield, and a car came round the roundabout, and instead of indicating in which way they meant to go, they obviously didn't. And I wound the window down and shouted some choice phrases at them. So I'm going to go with people, particularly Audi drivers. Sorry if anybody's got an Audi out there, who do not use their indication lights to say the way in which they are going.
Don't be sorry, Gary. Say it with chest, mate. Do you know what I mean? Fuck for me, it's BMW drivers who think that they're on the road and can drive up their ass. I go deliberately slow at me. It was probably me that you saw not indicating. But we'll never know. So yeah, indicate people that don't indicate. People that don't indicate is in the middle. What about you, Kev? Who's pissed you off this week?
Jorginho Rutter.
Oh, okay.
actually scoring goals, Premier League, and fans love him. They're going on about how good of a player he is, beautiful human, and it's really pissing me off because we had that last year, and yeah, fuck him now. So he can do one. He's really upset because he's been scoring goals, hasn't he? And he assisted.
Yeah. He'll be playing for Chelsea in 6 months' time.
Yeah, something mad like that. 100 million price.
And then he'll be sold again.
Yeah.
Yeah. James, how would Meslier tell Rutter to fuck off? Do you think?
Fuck off, you twat. I don't know.
That's he's taken to the local language. I'll say that. Who's pissed you off, James?
Do you even have to ask me?
International
break. Come on.
For the purpose
international
of the podcast,
break. International break.
We've got new viewers coming in.
Okay.
For how long this stay before we send them mental, we need to let them know what we're about.
International break. I hate it because it's boring. I hate watching England just lose to Greece, even though I didn't watch it, but they still lost. And I just love Leeds. So yeah, international break always. Whenever this comes, guys, if you tune in again, it's always going to be this for me. So international break.
But that's fair. That's fair. I too agree. But we can't nominate because international break will just run away with it if we keep nominating it. But I'm going to go with probably knee ligaments because I'm tired of our players breaking them, and they should be replaced with steel rods instead, like Forrest Gump or something. I don't know. Right, Gav. Your name's Gav now.
Yes, fine.
I'll give you the deciding vote. Who deserves to be top knob this week?
Well, after my pathetic attempt of an indicator wanker, I'm going to go with James for the international break. I'm going to add to it as international football. Period. It's never been the same since Euro '96. Never.
Ooh,
agreed.
It's been shite. Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish.
Great.
No heart, no desire. Wank.
No one's doing national anthems anymore. I remember that Euro '96 national anthem. Wow. Yeah, that was something else.
They even tried with the Jabalana ball in South Africa or it to add a bit of some sort of FIFA glitch where ball just flew in from all over, and that didn't sort the wankness out. It's shit. International football is shit. Period.
Yeah.
This is Gaz when he sees people not indicating.
Stood on top of his car.
Gets out and points like evil monkey from Family Guy. Yeah, so go on then, Gaz. We will give it to the international break. You are this week's top knob.
Top knob.
Right, that brings us towards the end of this week's podcast. Gary, thank you very much for putting yourself through this podcast. I know it's been quite an experience and adventure but hopefully we'll get you back on again. Is anything going on with you? Anything you want to promote? Anything apart from that?
I'd like to promote Leeds United, but I can't. I don't have a power. No, not really. No, I'm struggling. Can I just say good luck to Yorkshire Youth Darts who start their season on Sunday against Lancashire, War of the Roses. So, good luck to them. But no, mate, I've got nothing to promote. Just little old me hiding in my Twitter burner account, and keep bobbing on with Just Joe Wayman every now and again just to talk shite. And I can't thank you enough for welcoming me onto your parish. Really enjoyed it. Thanks very much.
Yeah. No, thanks very much, mate. Hopefully we'll get you back on again. James, how are you? Kev, how are you? Are we going for Sunday or?
Yeah.
You're on mute, Kev.
Kev, you're on mute, mate.
Yes, we'll be on Sunday.
Yeah, so make sure you do like and subscribe, please, because we're so close to 900 subscribers. We want to get past that, and then it's on the road to 1,000, and we are hopefully wanting to get that by end of the season. And if we get to 1,000 before the end of the season, James will throw pies at me, lemon pies, whatever flavor pie you want, mud pie could be even. But yeah.
Right.
Smarty, come on now. Come on, every week we do this. I'm not short, I'm average. Gaz, I keep calling you Gav, I don't know why. Gaz, I've got a picture of me and Smarty. Do you want to see it?
Yeah,
I did the 92 mile walk. I did the 92 mile walk last year. I saw Smarty on my travels, and this is a picture of me and Smarty together. He's quite tall, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, so do like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and we will see you next week.